Picture this, you boot up your favorite game, Risk of Rain 2. Either you join your buddies in a multiplayer session or you look for a random lobby in the multiplayer tab. Regardless, you're in a co-op lobby now. You look at the difficulty, Monsoon, maybe we'll play Eclipse some other day. All 3 DLCs are enabled, let's just hope to not roll Iron Illuvium for stage 3. And then you look down, and some scoundrel has already enabled every artifact under the sun. You ask the party to maybe just play without them for now, and then somebody hits you with the, what do you want to play without command and be a slave to the RNG? Why would anybody even play without command and sacrifice an artifact of rebirth with a broken watch? That would be really funny if they let you do that, by the way. And then you're kicked out and you have to play all alone because you just wanted to play without modifiers that basically set the game to easy mode, or kill everybody if somebody decides to tap a blood shrine too hard. Anyway, the point is not to shame anyone for how they play the game but they bought with their own mother's credit card. The point is that artifacts play a huge role in you being able to unlock certain abilities, and you know, if you just want to have a different kind of run than usual. So as somebody who does not have a lot of artifacts unlocked, I decided why not remove all the artifacts of my save file and try to unlock them all in one run. Wouldn't that be cool and fun? And you know, somebody maybe already hasn't done that before. Also, we're gonna be using a few mods for this run and be playing loader because I want to unlock Thunderslam. Alright, take number I don't know. Loop 1 and stage 1. We are greeted with a generous focus crystal printer, and right after that I stumble upon a scrapper and a fucking recycler. Hashtag not a seeded run. After dealing with the big jellyfish in the sky and being flung 200 miles away from the teleporter radius, I come back to charge the teleporter, but I forgot I had the no boss no wait mod installed because there is no way I'm doing like 100 stages of this without that mod. And also I was kinda scared I'd have not enough money for the Hellshonite shrine, but lo and behold, the Hellshonite does indeed spawn, only to be put down by the power of hot coffee, astrology crystals and a Patek Philippe watch. After printing some more astrology crystals, we leave for stage 2 and possibly roll the worst stage 2 in the entire game and probably every game ever. I really hate the allied collective maps, except for the stage 4s. Those are the good ones. Gearbox, please add another map selected to the new shop, or just remove stage 2 and 3. Nobody needs Iron Illuvium. Stage 2. Stage 2 was pretty simple. I picked up some drones, added like 9 hours to the difficulty timer because of the reduced recycler mod. I can't help it, I just got a trigger finger on the cycler. I am tempted by a mighty forgive me please, but it is way too soon in the run and I have way too little setup items to make good use of it. So for now we're gonna stick with the recycler. I get a sales star from a chance shrine, which lets me get a high spend from a large chest. That is why you macro, kids. That is why you macro. I reroll a weeping fungus into a safer spaces and get a trophy under strike corn from an equipment barrel, which I can practically turn into any boss item with the recycler. Without any further ado, it is indeed boss time. I mess up my momentum a little bit on the first titan, so I wasn't quite able to one-tap it, but he went down without much resistance. The second one I killed with the tricorn because I don't want to lose my recycler yet, and I might as well re-roll a knurl into a charged perforated. I'm just kidding, bro, it's a fucking planula. Whatever, we ball. After scrapping some greens for new shop, we swiftly make our way to the new shop. The new shop has nothing of value, and we're going to Rally Point Delta cause I fucking hate Iron Illuvium. Fuck this map. The map is cool, everything else about it is not. I turned my region scrap into something a bit more useful and cop a recycled benthic bloom into a larva. Yeah, I'll lose my bands if I die, but I think it's good to have as many revives as I can in the long run, because a few loops into the loop, holy fucking pun, any enemy can one-tap me, so it's really paramount to have as much damage mitigation as possible, and when we don't have enough damage mitigation, it's just good to have revives as well. This stage had a wisp event going on, meaning only enemies from the wisp family tree could spawn. You know what that means? Growth tenders. And you know what that means? Little disciple. Let's just not get too excited for now. But it also meant killing the elders was a joke, and also killing the wisps was also kind of a joke. But it was kind of annoying because I'm loader and I'm melee, and the wisps would get a few shots at me, but like it doesn't matter, I have opal and safer spaces, they're never gonna kill me, but it was annoying. Anyways, I was feeling a bit confident in my damage, noting how I had like 7 focus crystals by now in the run, so I did press a cybernetic mountain shrine, whatever it's called. What is it called? I don't know. It's called something. Pushing the thing adds a few soulless amalgamators to the teleporter event. I got Newt, and it is time to start the boss fight. Of course, I immediately start the boss fight by 1-tapping a fucking amalgamator, 2-tap the second one somehow, and got a grove tender in the crossfire also, and put the last one out of its misery as well. Unfortunately, none of the bosses dropped their items. I was really hoping for a little disciple. It would have been nice, but it's not like we need it. Somehow both of the rose bucklers reroll into wisps, giving me some much needed AoE. I get a shattering justice from a big chest, although it's kinda useless on loader. I keep it for a potential FMP build, or if I change into some other survivor that can use it better with metamorphosis. Also, I failed to mention, by this point I scrapped my planula thinking it won't turn into newly hatched Zoea if I scrapped it. Clearly, spoilers, I was wrong. Newt only had sirens and the golden portal in the shop, so reluctantly we take the golden portal so we can go kill Joseph and leave with an extra 6 items. And the game gives us sirens anyway. Thankfully we're playing on Monsoon, or else the alloyed worship unit would spam the shit out of that shield more than the average Bleach character spams their Bankai at the mildest inconvenience. Seriously though, Avu might be the single worst thing to fight Eclipse 7 and above. Anyway, side tangent aside, we're met with 90 billion elites and big enemies the second we spawn in, probably because of the recycler mod inflating the timer. I swear I'm not that slow. All the elites and big monsters aren't that big of an issue by now. The real issue is I couldn't find a big chest in time, so I just spent my sales star on a small one. After accumulating a decent chunk of wealth, I quickly loot up, hit a mountain shrine for good luck, and it's time to fist the flying meatball. He wasn't satisfied with one instance, so I had to fist him repeatedly till he was happy and rewarded me with Soronus Whispers. Probably one of the best items to have if you're trying to loop, or just in general in this game, so thank you glorious meatball. The DP magma worms weren't that big of a deal. Having defeated them, I reroll a few drops and made my way to the new shop. And I got a pair of head stompers from the new shop. Not really needed, but it's always nice to have. And I chose Sky Meadows as my stage 5 of choice. Big mistake, because as soon as I enter, my drones were burnt alive by a grumpy grandpa, but I was rewarded for my efforts as I got a Tesla coil in return. After looting up, I pressed TP and I am greeted with 5 grumpy old men, all wanting me dead, which they do succeed at, but call me Subaru because I'm back with a void band and broken watches. But that doesn't even matter because Sean and the Carp take one for the team and vanquish the heathen that slayed their master. Drop a like for their valiant sacrifice. After taking the much deserved and hard-earned ATG missiles and reviving all my fallen drones, I entered the artifact code for a command in someone's abandoned idea pad I found under the map. The artifact boss fight was, as you expected, a pretty lame. All you have to do is kill normal enemies and feed the blob some keys, and I was able to start setting up a Forgive Me Please build thanks to the artifact of command letting me choose whatever the fuck I wanted. Going into an FMP build is kind of a quadruple edged sword, because one mistake and I can easily just kill myself if I drop the equipment on my feet or something like that. But I don't have to worry about that right now, so that's for future me. So we unlocked the artifact of command and enter stage 6, officially ending our first loop. 1 of 19 by the way. Loop 2. Right now the FMP build isn't completely online, but my gas and wisp are too low range to kill anything, so I have to rely on the head stompers a little bit. And if they have more range, I'll just accidentally kill myself with chaos, so we have to rely on daggers or possibly resonance disc for our damage in the future. I can't really complete chaos, so I'll have to rely on ceremonial daggers and resonance disc for my main DPS later on, because these items won't actually actively target me during chaos, so I still have to rely on head stompers for now. There wasn't really anything that interesting to do here other than getting Newt, looting, one-tapping titans and leaving. I sacrificed some scrap and a kinetic dampener for a resonance disc, which is absolutely needed because Forgive Me Please will clear everything for us. I found a brand printer but didn't go all in because I have singularity bands, and even I forgot I have a mod that slightly buffs that item, so it's best to just ignore it for now. Almost one tap the Dune Strider, collect scav bag and loot. It's time to go to New Shop. New Shop had nothing, so we're good. Going to Scorch Takers now. The FMP build really picked up because of the residences. So I looked up if you can craft ceremonial daggers at the Wandering Chef, and unfortunately the answer is no. Whatever, I'm sure we'll find some. So in the hope for some daggers, I sail start a legendary chest at Abyssal Depths. Oh well, not quite what I needed, but I guess I'll have the Growth Nectar. The TP event ended in less than a second. Still no daggers though, kinda wishing I had that recycler now, but I'm not multi so I can't really carry 2 active items at once anyway. Runic Lance, don't care. I go kill Justin for now for some extra items, and right about now I was kinda realizing the War Bonds is gonna carry the rest of this run. I had a run-in with grandparents again, but this time we were able to handle them just fine without any dying happening. After a little bit of looting and scrapping, it was time to loop again. I put the Artifact of Vengeance, which means it was time to go kill myself, I mean my clones. I wasn't aware, but any enemy with a health bar is considered a boss enemy, which means War Bonds will proc on it. And since I am not a boss enemy, I am just a player, my clones cannot proc War Bonds on me. So my clones are hunted down by missiles as I just kick back and relax. So after having 3 of my clones airstriked, I unlock an ability I'll never use. Loop 3, I spawn into a stage, hit the 1 tab on everything on the map because of my Sauronus. I do generate a lot of extra loot across the map. This item will only get better as the loop goes on. Our only objective before we start for Evolution and Chaos are basically to get as many revives as possible. A Dio printer, a Dio soup, or hopefully a Teddy printer, which I have been saving my white scrap for, we'll find sometime soon. Stage 2 and 3 weren't interesting, so I'll just tell you what we found. The first TC 280 of the run on this stage 3, which is pretty cool I guess. At this point we would get way too much money than was needed, so going TP to TP is the strat now. We did find daggers in the new shop, I printed a few, and it is now time to see the carnage it's gonna spew in stage 4. Pretty cool I suppose. The only reason I'm still looking for Newt altars is because I need to make sure I get a couple dozen Dios from Newt before we do the more challenging artifacts, or else the entire run will be for nothing. I didn't find Newt, so we have to just roll the chance for stage 5. I scrapped a few whites so I can hopefully print some bears in the future, corrupt them into safer spaces and become invincible. Anyways, now is a good time as any to swap characters, so I put in the code for Metamorphosis and I'm Bandit now. Not a bad roll, could have been much worse. Fucking Rex. Also, for some reason I have a crowdfunder now. Probably fed my doll to a drone or something. We'll get that back later. Loop 4. Doesn't look like our build with Bandit is lagging behind, so that's nice. I walk into Newt shop, 1-tap Newt cause I can, and print a few Dio's best friends, and also take a Stoneflux Pauldron because my character was becoming too fast for me to control at this point. I kill Elizabeth, plus I get a few more items. Stage 2, nothing really happens other than looks like my War Bonds had nothing to hit, so it was trying to hit me. Also I printed a few keys cause why not. Laser scope, 2 explanation points. Stage 4, I decide to pick up Hellfire Tincture and almost burned myself alive. Broke 12 watches, yay. I don't know why I did that. But we got our FMP back, so nothing really matters. Tiny scrapping session later, I 1-tap the boss. Another scrapping session. I figure out we might as well unlock the Artifact of Glass now. I got like 10 revives, it should be fine. Which holds true because a few of my drones did die, but other than looking pretty, they do nothing anyway. Artifact of Glass unlocked, and now it's time for loop 5. Also, I kinda accidentally fed my FMP to a drone again, so I'm kinda equipmentless now. Not that it matters, only concern of mine right now is my PC dying. Stage 2. Just the act of me opening chests, we're clearing the stages now. Also, I think War Bonds become pink if you have Plasma Shrimps, which is cool I guess. Pluripotent larva again, which may or may not come to bite me in the ass as it has corrupted all of my Dios. I refrained myself from converting my 53 scrap straight into gasoline at stage 3 because that will guarantee the run will end when I try to unlock Chaos. I hit the jackpot, finding a Regent scrap printer in Newt shop. The Regent scrap will only be used to print pointless red items for the rest of the run. I take my revenge on the grandparents as usual, get my FMP back, and now it's time to unlock some more artifacts. I put the code in for that. Since it does nothing in single player, it was pretty easy to unlock, marking the end of loop 5. Loop 6. The loop starts off strong with a tougher time sprinter. I print all my white scrap into this item, corrupting tougher times into safer spaces, and my block recharges every 180 milliseconds now. Obviously this number will not reach 0 because something hyperbolic scaling or whatever. I mean, just look at how fast it regens. I'll have to try really hard to die with this many iframes and 11 revives. This is called foreshadowing, by the way. Also, I picked up a 57 leaf clover despite having pluripotent larvas in my inventory. That's not gonna come and bite me in the ass ever. No, that's not gonna happen. I punch in the code for Enigma because I guess I love losing my equipment, so I'm left with Hellfire Tincture again. And oh my god, that was not pleasant to listen. Oh my god. Other than that, easy artifact time for loop 7. 6-7. The only cool thing about having Hellfire Tincture was being able to kill this absolute abomination clanker thing called Best Buddy. I don't know how I even picked it up. I was able to print a few laser scopes at New Shop, which, I don't know, it doesn't even matter, bro. Hey, look at this Iron Alluvium variant. It looks just as ugly as the main one. Fuck Iron Alluvium. I almost crashed my PC trying to print a few boxes of dynamites, which I don't know why I'm doing. It's a matter at this point. And I accidentally stopped recording for a bit, and I'll fill you in what happened. I unlocked the artifact of delusion and failed all the chests after defeating the boss, so we're in depth of like 1 repulsion armor plate or something. GG. Anyway, I printed a few reds, and New Shop almost crashed my PC because of all the particles. But alas, it's finally time. After printing so many bears of invulnerability and even more bears of immortality, it was time to unlock the artifact of chaos, and oh my god, I'm so glad I have revives. The worst thing wasn't even accidentally killing myself, with forgive me please, or the looming danger of my void enemies turning on me, or splash damage from me killing something, then that killing me through my fucking iframes. No, it was the director. If you don't know, the director is responsible for spawning enemies, chests, loot, etc. Every stage has a specific amount of credits, and as the difficulty goes on, the credits also increase. And the director has a finite amount of credits to work with. But since our difficulty scaled up so much, everything the director wants to buy, the enemies wants to spawn, is super expensive now. But there's also a feature in the game that will make it so that any director cannot spawn stuff that's too cheap. And apparently, if you loop too much, the director will also not spawn stuff that's too cheap or too expensive, so the director can't spawn anything. I think that's how it works. I don't know, maybe I'm LARPing. Anyways, so the director doesn't work. I had to boot out with proper save and install a few mods that would fix the director and make it so stuff actually would spawn. Loading back in with proper save did revert my character back to Loader from Bandit, but like, I don't know how to fix that, so it doesn't even matter if I was playing Bandit or Loader, frankly. So, you know, let's just roll with this for now. At least the game works, okay? After pulling my hair out because of the director dying and dying to splash damage a few times, we eventually bested the artifact of chaos and unlocked it. Yippee! Oh yeah, let's just ignore this for now and surely it won't be a problem. Okay, so not much of anything happened in loop 8 to the point I didn't even write anything in the script for this loop. I don't know, maybe I just forgot about it, but anyway, we're gonna go get the artifact of sacrifice real quick. You might know sacrifice as that one artifact everybody likes to use with command and swarms. Yay, we unlocked sacrifice. EP, that was so cool. Anyway, time to move on to loop 9. Okay, we're a little bit into loop 9. I'm slower than Flight Reacts and Beetlejuice combined. All my items are red, and the fucking Stoneflux Pauldron is not helping either. Not gonna lie though, having 79 fucking Wi-Fi routers is pretty cool. Yeah, so the Lemurian eggs don't spawn in the reliquary, so nothing is unique to the artifact of devotion. My disappointment is ruined and my day is immeasurable or something like that. Loop 11, I don't know if it's supposed to be loop 10 or 11. It says 11 in the script. Maybe we skipped something. Anyway, more than halfway there, I think. I'm slow as shit, sleep deprived, and want to go to bed. Anyway, yeah, basically nothing interesting happened here. Also, each reliquary visit takes like 5 minutes each because of the director still can't fucking decide what to spawn with all the credits it has. But yeah, we unlocked Frailty, a completely useless artifact because no one ever uses it. And I mean, just play Eclipse if you want to avoid taking needless fall damage, right? Loop 12, the enemies look pretty scary. I mean, what the fuck even is a Collective Stone Titan? But the entire map gets nuked the second I drop my equipment, so we're chilling. We unlocked the artifact of Spite, not like the West spawning after anything dies, we'll do anything at this point. I'm an immovable, literally slow tank that just wants to be put out of its own misery. Also, Wake Up Vultures makes it so I'm permanently an elite or whatever. Usually Malachite. I feel like this item should be doing this add 1 stack. It's a legendary. Make the effect a little bit longer. But what is 8 seconds? What am I supposed to do with 8 seconds, man? Make it like 30. It's a legendary. Anyway, only thing spiteful is me at how long this is taking. But I guess you don't unlock every single artifact every day now, do you? Loop 13. I discovered that having 15 bottles of chaos almost guarantees a volcanic egg roll. Not that kind or that kind. Yeah. So a roll of the volcanic egg equipment each time I use my equipment, and that is my only form of mobility from now on. So yeah. Did I tell you how much I fucking hate this map and this one? Anyway, it's time to unlock the Artifact of Honor. Ironic because everything here is an elite boss monster or scavenger. Pretty sure not a single employee at Hopo Games originally intended anyone to loot this much. Also, chests are slowly reaching the 32-bit integer limit, and I assume will soon start to cost $0. Doesn't matter, the artifact is still mine. Loop 14. Reaching double digits in frame rate is a rarity now, and just like me, the game has had enough of this shit. It doesn't matter, I have too many items, so it's time to give enemies some too. Oh my fucking god, that looks scary to look at. Thankfully I came in prepared. I'm practically invincible and immortal. I did get kinda scared when I saw I was being targeted by the mighty Wi-Fi router and the enemies would reflect damage off of my minions to me. But there is nothing 50 safer spaces can't fix now, is there? Also, I only noticed there are items like halfway through unlocking this artifact. That goes to show how much attention I was paying to this by now. Anyways, let the enemies evolve and let us play out the final few stretches of our looping mess. Loop 15. Avu's HP bar has breached the 32-bit integer limit. That's pretty cool. And the chests cost a couple billion. Holy inflation. Also, we unlocked the Artifact of Kin by killing a few jellyfishes. Loop 16. If you stack 40 Aegises, it actually starts doing something. So the next time somebody calls this item bad, just tell them you're not stacking them enough. But the only thing we're stacking are artifacts, so Dissonance is next. What does it even do? I don't know. Also, by this point, I have so many brain stocks that I thought the purple overlay meant artifact trial has started, not that brain stocks is active. Can you tell I was losing it by now? And chests have officially breached the 32-bit integer limit and costs $0 now. And the money bar quite literally means nothing. Loop 17. At first I was surprised that my FMP didn't nuke the entire map. Then I realized the enemies I was seeing were the Happy Mask summons. Get me off of this Stadia exclusive garbage map now! I looted for free in the reliquary cause money means nothing now, and also a key drop was way easier because of swarms, so this was quite pleasant actually. Let's just speedrun this now since even the game is starting to break. Loop 18. Honor, nothing new. Loop 19. Prestige. I really like using this artifact. It is gonna be pretty fun to use in multiplayer. One more artifact to go. Artifact of Soul. Loop 20. Nobody cares about this stupid fucking artifact, but I must unlock it, and with that we're done looping, and I never need to see this ugly artifact boss ever again. Do you know that we're done looping and not done with the run? Yeah, that's right. We need to go kill False Sun and donate an item and possibly donate our soul and be born again, so we can unlock the artifact of rebirth at the lobby menu. Capiche? Alright, let's go. Stage 1, I try to charge Hellshine Shrine, but nothing happens because fucking money is worthless, I guess. Anyway, I visited Newt shop and broke these things. I don't know what they're called, Hellshine Shrines or whatever. But breaking them does summon the green portal, which we need to go through to kill the False Sun. I mean, go through the green portal and proceed to 2 DLC stages, and then we can go to Prime Meridian and scram with the most boring survivor in the game. But yeah, you got my point. As usual, nothing spawns in Prime Meridian. But since everything costs nothing, I got some much needed loot and printed some focus crystals that I totally need. At first I was getting really scared because False Sun's health bar wasn't budging and my PC was at its last limb. I thought he heard me talking about him earlier and decided to finally lock in and stop being a bum, but thankfully he would take some actual damage from my head stompers, and he was eventually being whittled down as slowly as possible. And since he can't lay a finger on me, eventually he would succumb to his fate. It was kind of scary and refreshing to see something last more than like 2 frames on my screen for once. But I don't know what happened in the second phase. He just kind of disappeared and didn't even come back for phase 3. I guess that's it then. Stand proud, Falson. You were strong. I donate my future self a bottle of elixir and finally put an end to this god-forsaken mind-numbing run and unlock the artifact of rebirth. Alright, so if you like this video, dislike and unsubscribe if you made it this far, and so I can hit minus 2 billion subs. And also let me know if you want any future video ideas in mind. You can comment them down below. Yeah.
Little boy, sit down. If you don't got this
vibes,
I'm not beefing with anybody from New York. If you don't got
vibes,
if you don't got
vibes
right here, you a little boy to me. I'll kiss you on your forehead. You a little boy. Sit down. King's home. It's over.